Happy Thirsty Thursday. Cheers. This is the glass I got last week at the Craft Beer Festival in Whitby. And the beer is the Harvest Pale Ale. Yes, the glass does look a bit dirty, and I did wash this by hand. I'm not convinced by the glass, I'll be honest, this year. Last year's glass was one of these. I kind of like that style. This is like a squared sort of. Looks like a normal tumbler. It's like a whiskey like a big whiskey tumbler style. All right. The beer is I said is the Harvest Pale Ale, and it's been on now several weeks, and it isn't going to clear fully. I don't think. No. Still got that haze. So what's been happening? Well, I've been on holiday now for a week. I haven't brewed. I haven't touched any of the brewing. To be honest, I barely touched the beers because I've been out. Or did a lot at the Craft Beer Festival. This one, I was there for an hour and a half Thursday evening, just because they had a couple of beers on I saw, and I really need to try them. One was bear with me, and I'll tell you. It involved Emperor Brewery. It was a collaboration between Emperor Brewery and I think Elephant Brews. Is it? Bear with me, and I will tell you. Bang the Elephant, yeah. So Bang the Elephant and Emperor's Brewery, Grand Inquisitor Imperial Coffee Stout, 11.1% with taste of coffee, maple and pecan. And so I went down Thursday when it had opened, because I thought if I don't go down and get it, it'll kill me if I miss out on it. So I went down Thursday, had that, and their collaboration with Brew York, the people who run it, the Green Dragon people, Chris and his team, they did a collaboration with Brew York, and that was just like a pale ale, and I wanted to try that before that went as well, and and I can tell you that was Avoid Peer Pressure, and that was an eclectic mix of Motueka and Talus, 3.4% pale ale. It was really nice. It was probably the only easy sipping beer there. I had lots and lots of beers. There was a lot of sours, a lot of smoothie sours. I had one Bretted one, a lot of double IPAs, New England IPAs. There's some bad beers there, I'll be honest. I think a few people are starting to say New England IPAs all taste the fucking same. Pale ales all taste the fucking same. However, so my other beer that I really, really enjoyed was. Let me look for this for you a minute, and it was what you would call a smoothie sour by Yonder Brewing. Strawberry, lime and pineapple twister. It tasted exactly like a twister lolly. Literally, it's as if they'd taken it, twisters, melted them, chucked some vodka in, but you couldn't taste the vodka. So it was 6%, fruity milk, spiral ice lolly sour. It was a touch of, just literally, it just tasted like a twister, and that to me was probably the highlight, other than the pecan one. I did a couple of other big impy stouts. So I was there the Thursday for an hour. Friday I didn't do. Saturday I was there from about 3:30 till about 8 when it shut. And Sunday I was there for an hour or so just before the football kicked off. I actually spent a lot of time talking with Whitby Brewery's apprentice brewer. Well, he's not apprentice brewer. He was an apprentice brewer, but he's their apprentice brewer. So he's done his apprenticeship, been to college and all that, and done studying, 2 years worth of college down in Nottingham. I think he did it. So he's there. He does all like the pilot brews these days. So it was really nice having a chat with him, talking about different malts they'd like to use. The water profiling and stuff up there because it's the same water. All sorts. We were talking for hours on Saturday, and I'd seen him also on the Thursday. Met him on the Thursday. A little bit of a chat the night to go, and then obviously the Saturday I bumped into him about just after 3 in the afternoon, chatting to him till about 8 before I left. So that was really interesting. All sorts. All sorts I learnt of him. Yeah, it was absolutely cracking time. So other than that, I haven't really touched any beers. Because the Sunday when I said I only went for an hour or so with the football, I was out with my mate, and then by the end of the evening after the football, because what a win! Oh, it's funny. I haven't heard a single Newcastle fan on the internet for a week. And believe me, I hear it usually all the time from them. Anytime. Up to half time, they were giving it this, all all Newcastle fans. We ended up in a pub and met, and it was rammed, and it was, to be honest, it was very half and half. It was very half Newcastle, and more tourists were Newcastle than locals. Locals seem to be quite Liverpool. It was surprising. So my mate and I, we were both Liverpool fans. We were in this bar. It was just a pub in the station square called Roses. It's nothing brilliant, it's nothing flash at all, but they have screens absolutely everywhere, and it was rammed. It had such a good atmosphere. Such a long time since I've been in a pub for a game. And normally I just I can sit at home, I can watch it. Yeah, such a difference. I mean, that second goal went in, beer was going everywhere, people were jumping up and down and cheering. It was mental, absolutely cracking. So it might be worth doing the odd one of those again now and then. That was brilliant. I enjoyed that. And this is how bad it got between us. By late in the evening, we were in a cocktail bar, and I was having beetroot martinis at £12 a pop. Fucking hell, that was expensive. Yes, so it's not something I'll be doing very often, but my holidays, and I say it was the first time my mate's been out in Whitby since he moved here, and it was great to catch up with him. I hadn't seen him properly in a year. So that's what we did there, and yet the football. On the downside of the football is my fantasy football. Now, if you've watched previous videos, my nephew chose my team for me, and I was really excited to see how it would. Jesus. Last week's I had 5 injured players, so I had to drop one and pick another one. That was fine. This week again, I've got 5. Well, I had 3 injured players and 2 that have actually left the Premier League. One's gone to Villarreal on loan, and one's gone to Leeds on loan. So I'm like, once again, I have to find a new. I didn't have a full team, so I had to pick. I've booked the transfer. I'm down at 37 or something, I think. I was at 28, 9, 30. No, I was 32. I'm now 37, so I'm one off the bottom. The things you do for your nephews and kids, you know? So I'm right down the bottom. And I don't know how I'm going to climb my way back up again. I've got bloody De Bruyne again this year. Every start of the year is crap. And I get him, and I have him, and I keep him, and I'm like, oh, I'll keep him, and I'll keep him. And he's shit, and he doesn't play, and he doesn't play, and he doesn't play. And then by the time he does play, I've sold him. And then he flies through the rest of the season. So I'm going to try and hold on to him this season as much as I can. Also, John Stones. I don't know why. See, what I thought with John Stones was, he's a defender, but he's been moved into the midfield more. Pep likes him further up the field, more in midfield. So, more chance of points there, I thought. Especially as he's marked as a defender, so you get even more points for him being a midfielder. Same with Alexander Arnold. I went with him, I think, because of that. But, yeah. So, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling this. I don't know what's happening this week. But, plus I had Haaland as captain again, and he did sod all. I think everyone's like suddenly jumped on the idea that Nunes, get Nunes, must have the Nunes, since he scored those 2 in the Liverpool game. Brew-wise, absolutely nothing happening. I don't know when I'll get a chance to brew. Well, actually, I'll probably have a chance tomorrow. I've got absolutely no escape rooms on Friday, tomorrow. I have one on Saturday so far that I know is about 6 o'clock. So it's nice. We can go out and do stuff on the Saturday. Get back in time for me to be down there for 5 o'clock. Do the escape room and then grab a pizza and come home. So that's probably what I'll do Saturday, unless there's more. However, Friday is tomorrow, and Laura's already telling me. So are you just taking that as a day to yourself? Do you want to do that as a day to yourself? I'm like, I don't know. I could do brewing in the morning, I suppose. I hadn't thought about it like that. I was thinking like, well, it'd be nice to go somewhere, do something, because we've been out and about all over. We've just come back from Preston Park Museum, just in Stockton. Surprising place. It's got a massive adventure playground area. There's huge, all sorts going on there that Thomas has absolutely loved, because you go anywhere with Thomas as long as there's a playground. That's it. He'll just do that. So I was like, well, we'll stop doing all the other stuff. I mean, we went to what's the SeaWorld type thing where you look at not dolphins. So like it's like a marine place with like a tunnel you go under and you get sharks swim over you, and that was nearby, so we went to that. That's like 60-70 quid for the 3 of us. And he would just wanted to play in this little bit of a fort thing. That's all he wanted to do. Didn't want to go see the seals, didn't want to go see the penguins, wasn't bothered about the shark, wasn't bothered about the otters. Yeah, so it was just like, what the fucking point? So I thought, yeah, this massive adventure place, you don't pay anything to go in the park, you don't pay anything to go to the play park bit. There was a museum there, which was a bit bizarre, as they had a Brewdog can of the Barnard Castle eye test as part of their COVID display. They had a special exhibition of some rooms. Each room had a different theme, and they had a COVID theme, just like stuff about COVID, and they had that kind of Brewdog's Barnard Castle eye test in. So it was a bit odd, but other than that, it was just like a big museum, usual stuff, all about the house, the people that had lived there, stuff like that. Then they have a Victorian street with like people dressed up in characters, costumes and stuff, like serving in sweet shop. We're selling like old sweets and things. It was mint. And there's a big walled garden with all the fruit and veggies and fruits and that. Big greenhouses, tomatoes and peppers, lots of chili peppers. If there had been any ready, I'd have been slaying a couple there. I think just a couple to try these all sorts of chili peppers. But they had these tomatoes, literally, they were that big, fucking monster tomatoes. They were Italian Grandad Joe's or something like that. They were called. Don't quote me on that, but it was definitely Italian, and then something like Uncle or Grandad, and then a name like Joe Barney or something. Really weird. It was really odd, but they were absolutely fucking monsters. So yeah, that was today, and then we went to Sea Life Centre. That's the word for the place. Sea Life Centre. We'd been to the Sea Life Centre in Scarborough, which is near Scarborough, yesterday. But yeah, wherever we'd been going, we've gone to a few places over the last few days. We've always ended up in the Fylingdales Inn at the end for food, and oh man, I had a curry yesterday. It was pork madras, half and half, so it came with half rice, half chips, nice big naan bread. You'd think this is a pub, and the bowl was like that, literally. It was a massive bowl, sort of like mounded even. Fucking hell, I had that, and I didn't want to eat till sort of like 2 o'clock this afternoon and we'd had that at 4 o'clock last night. I was just ballooned. It was huge. Anyway, we've been eating there a couple of days, but giving that a rest today, just because it's not cheap going to pubs these days, is it? It's not to eat out, but I mean, we like to do it at this Fylingdales Inn because it's absolutely stonking food there. Love it, always have done. And has a little play area as well. Once again, picking play area for Thomas. Because you can't go anywhere without a play area for him. It just works for him. Anyway, yes. So that has been my week. That has been pretty much what I have to talk about. Drinking in the early part, the last Thursday, Friday wasn't so much. Saturday and Sunday was, Saturday and Sunday was bad. So I had a rest Monday. Tuesday I had a couple of I had beer with my meal and a beer when I got home. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. Cheers, enjoy your weekend to come, and I'll catch you in the next one.